Well, hi there, everybody. Good morning to meteorologist Travis Klineski here. A winter weather advisory in place today for a large part of the area here, at least from southwest Nebraska to the northeast. Does not include southeast Nebraska, does not include Hastings, does not include York. It does include Grand Island and Kearney, McCook, North Platte, Broken Bow, Norfolk, Burwell, everybody in between right here. So it's in effect now, and it will continue until 3 o'clock this afternoon out west, until 4 o'clock right in here, and until 6 p.m. right here to the northeast. It's a very fine line between if you'll get snow or not. It's very complicated because of warmer temperatures out there this morning. Everybody in the local 4 viewing area is at or above freezing this morning. The only areas that are at freezing are in southeast Nebraska where it's clear, but there's no snow or rain right now. That said, slowly falling temperatures, but mostly staying above freezing, but cold enough that just above the surface, snow is going to be falling today, and then even if it melts, it could be falling heavy enough it won't completely melt, and it will still add up just a bit. It's going to be a very wet, slushy snow in store for today. So let's play out your future cast here. Now, as of 7:15 this morning, that's about the time I'm recording this here, most of the snow that we've seen accumulate so far has been right out here to the west. We haven't seen much around North Platte or McCook yet, so this forecast model is probably going a little too far east too quickly with the snow transition. That transition's more likely about right here, right now. But let's play this out through this morning, as this is probably the time frame when the heaviest snow is going to fall through the morning hours. And again, I think we still see a little rain mixed in here. It may not be full-blown snowfall here. And again, chances are lower of seeing accumulating snow the farther southeast you go. So I think your best chance of accumulation this morning is going to be right in here. Dry conditions, there's a frontal boundary right here. But again, maybe seeing some snow accumulate in the Tri-Cities. Kearney would have the best chance. Hastings would have the lowest chance. Let's push you through the afternoon as the snow starts to lighten up, and eventually it will move out of here. It's a very fast-moving system. It's not going to last long. By supper time, most of us are done with the snow. Now, that said, there still may be some rain mixed in here. It just depends on how warm or cold it is out there. It's going to be a very, very fine line. Breezy northwest winds. Let's back this up real quick. Let's show you the winds, which are going to be rather breezy out of the north and northwest. But with the heavier nature of the snow, I don't think we're going to see a lot of blowing snow. So visibility restrictions due to blowing snow and drifting of snow doesn't look to be a concern. Maybe still some visibility restrictions if the snow is heavy enough, though. Then as we get into tonight, skies start to clear up. That system is gone. It's going to be colder, so a lot of the stuff that's on the ground is going to freeze overnight with the colder temperatures coming. It's going to get below freezing. Look for some low clouds to develop or some fog maybe in eastern Nebraska. And then tomorrow that should burn off. We'll see lots of mostly sunny skies out there for your Friday. A pretty decent day out there as winds turn more south and southeasterly. Temperatures will start to warm up, but areas with snow on the ground, it may be a little colder tomorrow. Tomorrow night, increasing clouds heading into our New Year's Eve on Saturday. Maybe a very minimal amount of rain up here to the northwest, but most of us won't see much heading into Saturday. We're going to be waiting until early next week before our next system impacts us. So, snowfall totals. This is a very complicated forecast, so it makes it tough to predict because of that fine line between the melting snow and how much actually piles up because of the temperature being in the mid-30s for many of us. So, how much of it will pile up. So right now, kind of a rough estimate of about 1 to 3 inches of snowfall right in here from southwest to northeast. And I think it'd be Imperial to McCook, North Platte to Lexington, and then Broken Bow to about Kearney, where you'd be looking at that 1 to 3 inch type snow, or to Albion, Norfolk to O'Neill. Maybe some higher isolated amounts over 3 inches, maybe 4 inches of snow. It just depends on if it can stick and not melt too fast out there. But then I think there's going to be a very sharp drop off, and in fact, I'm a little sketchy on these numbers here for GI and Hastings. I think our numbers probably are too high here, to be honest. Now, Kearney maybe possibly, but even there might be too high here. It's going to be very close. But certainly lower chances towards Hastings, and then much lower. Probably this year, I don't even think there's going to be any accumulating snow here to the southeast. I know it's showing an inch in York. I'm a little iffy on that. A couple of tenths of an inch. I don't even think that's going to happen in Smith Center, Lincoln, Heber, nothing like that. I don't think those places will even see snow here. So this is probably a little too far southeast. But that said, those that get the snow could still see the impacts. All right, these are your highs for today. But keep in mind, many of us are seeing our highs right now. How do the temperatures actually play out for today? So there we are right now. It's colder in the southeast because of clear skies. Out west, temperature's a little colder, and when it's below 35, that's when we're starting to see some of that snow. Look how temperatures will drop off in central Nebraska as the day goes on. Out west, they may actually rise later today if the sun can come out, though. So they may get back up into the upper 30s there. And then we'll start to drop off overnight tonight. By tomorrow morning, we're down in the upper teens, lower 20s for lows. So all that wet, slushy snow will get a little tougher and harder as we get to the late night hours as it gets colder overnight. Highs tomorrow, we're going to shoot for low to mid 40s, maybe upper 40s in the south. Keep an eye on those areas that have a lot of snow on the ground right in here. Temperatures may struggle a little bit with the snow on the ground. Upper 30s, lower 40s here. Tomorrow night, lows in the mid to upper 20s and lower 30s. And then as we head into your final day of 2022, not bad. 40s for highs, maybe even some lower 50s in the south. And if you're ringing in the New Year Saturday night, I don't expect any problems whatsoever. Weather-wise, a little chilly, but nothing unusually cold. And the weather looks pretty quiet for Saturday night going into Sunday morning, New Year's Day. So ringing in the New Year, if you're going out and about to celebrate, going to a friend's house, going out to wherever that you may see a celebration, I don't expect any problems. Sunday itself, New Year's Day, quiet. It's going to be a mostly cloudy day, but still fairly mild out there. But then things look more interesting heading into Monday, and possibly lingering into Tuesday as well and Wednesday. But there are still a lot of question marks with how that plays out here. So let's jump into the forecast. It does look colder behind that system, but that system is still very much in doubt. Let's go with, I think this is the less aggressive model, and it's all about the low pressure system moving through. Okay, there's our system right now. Let's get past that one. Quiet weather, quiet weather, quiet weather. Now let's get you into Sunday. Here's New Year's Day. Still quiet, but more clouds. And then New Year's Day night into Monday morning. Low pressure near Colorado Springs is going to move towards the panhandle of Nebraska, maybe more towards Ogallala. But look on Monday how much of our area gets dry slide. If this occurs, we could actually warm up quite a bit on Monday. We'd be in the warmer sector here. We could be talking highs in the 50s on Monday. Storms, thunderstorms, maybe some severe weather off to our east. And then, of course, the heavy snow on the backside of that system over western Nebraska could be a repeat of what they saw a couple of weeks ago in the panhandle with the snow and the blowing snow. I don't know if the winds will be quite that strong, but the snow could be quite heavy there. And then that lifts to the northeast, and we don't get a lot for most of the local 4 viewing area, maybe a little bit of wraparound snow on Tuesday before that clears out of here. And then we're just a little colder behind that system, but not too bad. And fairly quiet weather prevails for the rest of next week. That's the GFS forecast model. The European forecast model is far different, however. Let's play this out. Okay, today's system, then quiet, quiet, quiet. Let's get you into the weekend here. Let's get you to Sunday, and then I'm going to stop it. There's New Year's Day morning, so most of us are sleeping in by then. There's New Year's Day itself, pretty quiet, mostly cloudy, fairly mild, but then the system lifts in. Now notice where the low is. This model has the low down by Oklahoma City, not by Ogallala. That is a huge difference because instead of getting dry slotted here, they're getting dry slotted down in Texas. And we're getting the backside of the system with the cold air, the rain, the sleet, the freezing rain, the snow. And a major winter storm is then would be expected if this were to take place, and it could linger into Tuesday before clearing out on Wednesday, and then quiet weather following that. But again, we could see that solution, we could see the other one I showed you, or anything in between right now. So we are anywhere from a major winter storm to very minimal impacts for our area. And the bigger impacts will be off to our west and northwest. Now, I know there are some viewers that watch from western Nebraska. You could be looking at impacts either way. We'll see. The Canadian model, which I don't have access to here, it's kind of in between right now. So that tells me that we're probably going to see at least some impacts, but how big of an impact, that's still left to be said. Now, with that system coming in, now ahead of it, we're going to be mild again for the end of this week into the upcoming weekend, but then temperatures will start to drop off on the backside of that system. But it doesn't look unusually cold next week, 30s for highs, and then we may actually warm up towards the end of next week, so that's the good news. So, well, with that, I got to let you all go, but I want to thank you all for watching, and hope you have a good Thursday out there. Stay safe if you happen to be driving in some of that snow for today. Watch for those slick conditions out there. I'll see you all again on Friday morning with the latest heading into the weekend. Maybe some clarification on next week. We'll see. I don't know if we'll have too much clarification until sometime this weekend, but hopefully maybe a little bit more anyway. All right. Take care. God bless. Bye.